Since time immemorial, humanity has been plagued by questions. One man is on a mission to find the answers, and that man is...
I'm just a farmer in a foreign country. And I'm from the army and I'm here to take your land. You can't do that. Yes, I can. I've got a gun in my hand. Brah, 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 brah.
What have I done? Can never undo the atrocities I've bore witness to. I must atone for the sins I have committed.
Brah.
Tragic. Thank you. Yes, thank you. Honestly, I'm honoured. I'm glad that this project did earn some awards, at least. Hello, I'm Toby, and today should be fun as I'll be discovering the history and tragedy of war. War is no laughing matter. Even if Hitler had a funny moustache, the tragic losses cannot be understated. Here, at Luton Church Burial Ground, there's over 133 identified casualties from World War I/II. These brave men and women are buried not just in valour, but in a lot of dirt as well. So join me as I dig up the past. Not literally, of course, that's disgusting. I meant in a more metaphorical sense, with like history facts and shit, mostly comedy. In this, the incomplete guide to everything about war. I'm in conflict capital of the world, Luton, to uncover the tragic truths. Reality of the world at war. Terror in our homes, as many TV viewers fear war may be on the verge of breaking out.
Joe, do you honestly think I'd mix my wine?
There's a lot of rising conflicts between influential members of the United Love Islands. The Prime Minister has offered a statement saying that she doesn't think Danny's right for Chantal. Shocking revelations, as evidence surfaces that suggest the ease of access to guns has led to an increase in gun violence across America. And later tonight, in-depth interviews into the real army experience.
They told me I'd make it as a paratrooper, so I had to pull a few strings.
You know, being British, the history of war is fucking everywhere, and there's no shortage of people wanting to go endlessly on about it. But the first question to ask is, what is war? War has existed longer than you, me, or Wikipedia, so it's impossible to know how the first war even started. One can only assume it was between two Stone Age tribes over who has the biggest stick or who gets to mate with the largest woman. So it's quite similar to Love Island, really. That alarm means it's time for Toby's top 5 ways to start a war. In at number 5, it's religion. Religion. It's like Marmite, you either love it or you have better judgment. A war of religion includes the Crusades by the Latin Church during the medieval ages, the aim of which was to expel Islam, like the EDL or UKIP. Many wars have been fought over a disagreement of beliefs. I myself got caught up in one. People would often say I'm being bigoted. I get a lot of hate and anger from the public, but I had to stick to my beliefs that ketchup is fucking disgusting and the country would be better off without it. My name is Toby, and I'm head of the collective opposing consuming ketchup. I've been leading protests for 3 years now. I've been constantly, unfairly scrutinised in the media. What we've done here is a typical bottle of ketchup actually contains 47% horse tranquilizers. People just want to believe what they see in the news rather than look for a reliable source. Brown sauce, mayonnaise, curry sauce, that's what being British is all about. People come to Britain, right, from God knows where, and they start spreading their ketchup, on burgers, sandwiches, absolutely just slavering their chips in it. I mean, really look at that, right? How are you going to pick them up It's fucking disgusting.
I think it's wrong to have ketchup in schools. As a single mother, I'm terrified that my children are going to be forced to accept ketchup.
Decreasing through the ranks at number 4, it's revolution. A revolution is basically when the population revolts against the people or person running the country. Famous examples include the American Revolution, the successful struggle for independence from Britain, or the British Revolution, the struggle for independence from Europe, which has been less successful. I felt who better to ask on the current government dissatisfaction than the British general public. So come on then, let's go find some plebs to talk about the revolution. Would you like to talk to me about the revolution? Dick. Didn't want to talk to you anyway, prick.
Okay, hear me out. I know we did it last time. Maybe our examiners won't even notice.
Come on then, let's go find some plebs. I think politicians should have to swear on a Bible. That way, we may actually know if Theresa May really is the Antichrist, like they say. I think it was better back in the day where, as a woman, I didn't have any political responsibilities because I wasn't allowed to have an opinion. I, for one, would hope that in the future we could see a higher ratio of men in government. I think far too often young men are put off the idea, but into becoming shit writers and actors. I think that we should create a nation where all things are decided via internet poll, and we should call this new nation, waiting to be conquered, Poland. You know, we like to have fun here, but there are times when we realise maybe the joke's gone a bit too far. We apologise for the statements that we've made, and I would like to assure you that in future we'll work harder to make family friendly. You know, a lot like Great Britain, you just need a long ruler. Perhaps the children of God would be more interested if politicians showed a little bit more skin, you know? I think maybe show them that votes actually mean something. You know, maybe make it so that tampons are no longer a luxury item. I think that the young people, they do not vote because they do not understand, they do not focus. I suggest we take all these young people and we send them to a camp where they can learn to concentrate. You know, after last time, we thought we'd sort of done this in good taste. However, looking back on it, maybe we just hadn't learnt enough. So, on behalf of all the cast and crew involved, I'd like to apologise on their behalf. It's not my fault, I'm just the messenger. Well, and I also wrote the message and sent it. But that's beside the point. Oh yeah, that Brexit thing, yeah, I think I heard about that in the news. See, when we were voting stay or leave, I thought we were voting for what to do with all these bloody foreigners. I mean, you have to worry about the taxation of goods. The Netherlands, they supply most of the UK's tomatoes. And the tomato juice, however. I'm not a big fan of the juice. Wow, what a fascinating insight into the people of Luton. Let's move on to the next part. Cashing in at number 3, it's economic gain. Yes, cash, dosh, shekels, money, whatever you want to call the fat stacks in your pocket used to exchange goods and services. For legal purposes, I would like to say that in no way was I encouraging the exchange of money for illegal activities or products. The Incomplete Guide to Everything does not condone such actions. Do not attempt to purchase sex or drugs. Instead, ask nicely if you can have some next time you go clubbing. They say money makes the world go round. It doesn't. That's actually like gravity or some shit. The most famous example of such a war is the Anglo-Indian Wars, which resulted in the British colonial rule of India. Which is why curry is now a staple British food. Anyways, that's enough of that. In 2015, the US spent around $598.5 billion on military spending alone. I've done the maths, and that would get you roughly 38,254,125,000 pictures at Wetherspoons. And that's nearly 20 times the amount I've had in my lifetime. But what is this money spent on? I had a chance to talk to some totally legitimate veterans about military expenses.
My time in the service, you witnessed a lot of horrific things. The government would throw money at every problem. In war-torn countries, we'd give children jackets. Then when I went to school to show off their cool new jacket, ban! Explosives. The jacket was filled with explosives. It was funny the first few times. Then it was just sad.
Yeah, so to boost morale for the men, they airdropped us in a pint of lager, well, multiple pints of lager, pictures of cars, some tits, and even a fucking footy. Christmas Day, a couple of lads fancied a kickabout, so we went over the top and played a bit of five-side. Terry fucking whiffs the shot, goes straight past Emmy Lyons, right? So, one of their blokes comes up to give it back, and in that moment, it exploded. I mean, the whole fucking thing was completely filled with explosives.
Whilst I was serving, I remember they spent billions of dollars on this wooden giant camel, which was odd because there's not even camels in Afghanistan. We left it outside a small village and they eventually took it in to use as firewood. And then, just when the sun had set, boom! The entire village just blows up. I mean, the camel was 80% explosives.
Coming for you at number 2, it's Civil War. Right. Sorry, what do you mean I can't talk about Civil War? What film? Sorry, you mean the Captain America one? Well, yes, I've fucking heard of it. Well, how can Disney own the right to the concept of Civil War? That's not how that works. They literally can't. Last, but certainly not least, at number 1, it's revenge. And there's no greater war of revenge than World War II. After the prequel episode, the Treaty of Versailles imposed strict punishments on Germany, which led to the rise of the Nazi Socialist Party. But this party wasn't very fun. There wasn't any cake or party bags. It's important to one of the many brave heroes and innocent people who lost their lives. Anyways, back to this being a comedy series. I think there is no greater tragic beauty than war poetry. It's like finding a £10 note in a urinal. This piece, written in 19th, is called War is Absolutely Fucked. We be praised as heroes, they said, welcomed home with parades and confetti, drinking in the streets, grateful women in the sheets, and a plate of mum's spaghetti. But my country asks too much of me, with every order they instruct, for I have come to understand that war is absolutely fucked. Trudging through the mud and water has me rather provoked, for now I find myself with shoes that are completely fucking soaked. Each morning is a 30-minute jog and another 30-minute backwards. I then perform 4 push-ups, and now my arms are fucking knackered. It's bloody cold, it's bloody wet, I've got a bloody bad cough, but Johnson says things could be worse. What? Just because his arm has been blown off? Oh, I'm an amputee. Woe is me. You know, I've actually got a quite serious bruise. But despite that, the captain still makes me clean my pissing shoes. Yes, I'm still annoyed about the bloody shoes. Look, I'm not going to be able to wear these again. They're fucked, all right? It wasn't even worth it for the sketch because it's not even that funny. But despite all the pains, the rains and shoe stains, the blood, the mud and the bloody mud flood, the loss of sons, the fire of guns, and constantly having the runs, I shall overcome still feeling rather skittish, for that is what it means to be fucking British. Yes, you may have noticed me subtly mentioning Britain a few times, and why wouldn't I? We are fucking good.
The best thing about Britain is the food.
Do you know the best thing about Britain? Top Gear, mate.
The best thing about Britain is probably the free healthcare. Yeah, it's quite good actually.
Britain won the war. We won. We, as in you and me. I won the war. You're welcome. Oh, what's that? Germany beat us in the World Cup. Yeah, well, they didn't bloody beat us in the war though, did they? If I see you talk like that, I am going to punch you. Join me next episode, where I'll be discussing technology. How long until we're living in the future? Because I've been waiting ages, and I'm still living in the present. Anyways, I've got better things to be doing, so until next time, cheerio.